Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. King, Teliano. Is that you?
Oh my goodness, we here. What's happening?
This is episode 259 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you get early access to the video version of the podcast a week before everybody else. It's where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. It's where you can get access to Mic Check mangas and take talks, etc. over on patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu. This show couldn't be done without the support of our Patreon producers and all of our Patreon supporters for that matter. But shout out to the Patreon producers: Christian, the archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, Fear, Johnny from Shoujo High, Cat the Pro from Chaotic Culture and Shoujo High, Explicitly, All for One Matt, Mazer, Altor, Monique Williams, Nachi, Semi Sensei, Frozen, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our guy, T Moneyfingers. Thank you so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. We couldn't do it without you. It means the world to us. Now, next week, from the time that this recording goes out, June 30th, Sunday at 10:30 Central Time PM, we will be doing Mic Check Live 9. Mic Check Live 9. Is it 9 or 8? I don't know. Whatever. It's a live recording of episode 260. We are going to be ending the fall season or the spring season, right? I'm tripping. We're going to be ending the spring season and rating and discussing underrated anime for the year so far. So that's going to include winter and spring. We're going to talk about the most underrated anime for those two seasons for this year so far, and wrap up the spring anime season by discussing the shows that end and sharing conversation with y'all. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MicCheckWaifu. Make sure you're there for the live, be a part of the conversation. Those episodes are always so much fun. They're great. We love everybody that come through for those. So much fun. We're also going to be live on Twitter. I feel like setting that up. So if you follow us on Twitter @MicCheckWaifu, you can see the show there as well in all its video form glory. This week on Mic Check Waifu, we are going to be doing something special, something I find that's going to be a lot of fun. Remember last week we talked about we have a topics idea channel for our producers over on our Discord. Make sure you join our Discord. But we have sorry if y'all hear my dog choking on his food. He's back there just coughing.
Oh no, Saber, no.
He's all right. But we have a topics channel for the producers to drop in topic ideas for the show. And we got quite a few, so we're going to do a bunch of rapid fire of those today. We're going to discuss a few things news-wise in the anime space. How are you feeling, brother?
Oh, I'm great. It's been a great week.
I said a lot.
This week has been one of the most relaxed weeks I've had in a while. And hear me out. I say that, and this is going to sound crazy. I say that because I've been doing it's not spring cleaning, but I've been cleaning extra heavy. And for whatever reason, I've just been significantly more relaxed because of that. So yeah, bro, it's been a really smooth, great week. I just been chilling, man. There is something I saw that's pretty interesting. It's kind of related to anime/gaming that I wanted to just bring up in a quick topic when we get into the podcast, but I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
But yeah, bro, how are you feeling, bro? What's happening?
So much energy tonight for some reason. We record at night on Sundays. So for those of you that don't know, little behind the sauce, it's 10:30 right now. And I feel like I just woke up. I didn't take a nap today. I don't know what it is, but I got so much energy. It's ridiculous. So I'm hopefully it's not too crazy, but I'm ready for a good show today.
It's as soon as we start talking. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Because before we start recording, it's funny. We need to probably bring that back one time.
The pre-shows.
The pre-shows, man. Look, just randomly bring up a topic. We laughing, talking together, and that's that brotherly thing that obviously I think happens. But we just in here chilling, talking. The energy gets ramped up, and now we ready. We ready to record.
Maybe we should. That takes up so much damn space on my computer, though. Holy hell! But
right.
The pre-shows were fire. For those of you who've been supporting us for a very long time, we used to do pre-shows that we used to record those conversations we had before we start recording, like how the show is going to go and stuff like that. And we used to throw them up on Patreon. That's not a bad idea. Maybe we'll consider doing that again. That's a pretty dope idea.
Like a mini after story sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe we do a test run. Maybe not next week is the live episode. Maybe after that. We'll see. Just remind us. Anyway, if y'all want that, let us know. If you want that, tweet at us or hit us up in Discord and say, yeah, that's a good idea. If enough people want it, we'll do it. At least, Patreon supporter wise. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, this episode is going to be different. We're going to be going through the topics that we got from our producers over in the topic ideas, WeebsOnly channel on our Discord. So it's going to be a rapid fire of that. And we're going to be talking about a few things that I think we should, think we should. So without further ado, Tel, what was your episode of the week this week?
Yatagarasu.
Great choice. But because you chose that, I'm gonna choose something different. And I'm gonna go with Jobless. Again.
A great choice.
I gotta go with Jobless because everything that we said could happen is probably going to happen because of it. That great episode. I do want to give an honorable mention to Kaiju number 8 since the show finally started.
I have my own opinions on that.
So let's talk about what we're going to spoil after the break, after the music break. I think Jobless.
All right.
I think, Jobless, Kaiju, and let's do My Hero. My Hero discussion.
Okay.
Because I want to share with you what I feel about what happened in this episode.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Now, before we get into that, what did you want to bring up before we get into the topic weeb ideas here?
So I've been paying attention a little bit more to gaming lately, right?
Okay.
And
that makes me happy.
There's an anime that I watched a little bit of, like 6 or 7 episodes of, that I had to drop because the gameplay trailer for it looked really, really interesting. It's called Tribe 9, right? What the gameplay was 2 years ago was you drop into this world and it's like this almost like anime baseball game that like it made it seem like you just jump in quick, get in, get out kind of game. So I was like, I'm really interested. It looks really cool. It's high impact, very fast paced looking kind of game. So I was like, I really, really want to try this out, see what Tribe 9 is about. I watched the anime. It's very baseball centric, right? But it's very like plot is loose, characters suck, animation was middle, because it was like CGI, kind of like 3D, but it was like trash, just like high neon colors. None of the show was good, but now they release more of this like current gameplay information and like what it looks like now, and they've taken the entire baseball element out of it. It looks more like Wuthering Waves or any of those games currently. It's like I almost feel like it sucks, and it's going to suck even more now because the anime did a very poor job of actually describing what it's supposed to be.
I'm looking at it on Steam right now. It's created by Tokyo Games. Oh my God. What's driving me crazy is the fact that they decided to utilize like almost a Persona-esque UI.
Right?
Wait, Tribe 9. Seems so familiar to me.
Because it was an anime that I had said we should watch it, and it was trash, bro. It was garbage.
Oh.
It was a sports futuristic kind of anime.
What I don't, it has, like, the game looks crazy, by the way. It actually looks kind of sick. I'm adding to my wish list.
That's what I was saying. But so at first it was like a baseball game, and now it's like different. I was like, I ain't mad at it, but it's like it looks just like what I guess we've seen before.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting concept here. Anyway, that's different. I'm glad you brought that to my attention because now I can look at it. No announced date or anything like that. Okay. All right, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Now, to go to what we got going on today. Like I said, this is going to be a special episode of us kind of going through topics brought to you by the producers of the show. We got quite a bit of a few different ones, so we are just going to we're just gonna start with one of the producers, All for One Matt. He says, "What isekai world would you live in if you could choose?" What isekai world would I live in if I could choose? That's a tough one. Let me see if I can.
Here's the thing that sucks about that question is that it feels like one of those things that like the first one I think of is not the one I think I should actually want to live in. You know what I mean?
100%.
It feels like that might be too hard. I kind of feel like we might have a similar idea on that one.
I don't think so.
Because the one I would like to, but it's like, it feels like it might be too realistic. And I might die in the first week. Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash.
No, that's deadly. Yeah, you're a demon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like it's crazy. But that's I feel like crazy. I know I could just work hard there.
I'm gonna go with I gotta go with it. Log Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way Log Horizon did it. Where the players are still players and the NPCs are still NPCs, and you have a significant amount of power. And like, it wasn't necessarily that you died. Slight spoilers for Log Horizon, but this is at the beginning of the season 1. But when you died, it wasn't like you. Okay, no, I can't say that because it's a big spoiler. So I changed my mind. So yeah, Log Horizon I think will be one of the best ones to live in as a player. Great question. We might have answered that question years ago, like 100 episodes ago, but a lot of these are what they are. But our guy T Moneyfingers, he says, "What is an anime that you adore or just like but wouldn't recommend?" Like the majority of us being so cultured, there might be a decent list here. Good point. So what anime do we adore that we just wouldn't recommend? There's so many. Where do I start? A Date Alive. I love that series. I wouldn't recommend it. There's so many. Oh my goodness.
I mean, if we go, I guess I would even say Twin Star Exorcist for me, right? I don't recommend it for people. It's a very, very slow burn, but I really enjoyed watching or reading it. So I would say that one could be one that is a guilty pleasure kind of thing, but I don't think everyone will enjoy it.
I still don't think everybody will enjoy Chivalry of a Failed Knight, but we love it. Like it's so many that we can go off of, bro. Like Wise Man's Grandchild. I love that show. I can't recommend it.
What was even Haji Hero, which
yes,
I feel like
I actually can recommend it.
I think people should give it a chance, but I don't think I can recommend it to everybody because I know everybody's not going to give it a chance. Right.
No, that's a good point. My Instant Death Ability is Overpowered is a newer one that I wouldn't recommend to everybody, but I enjoyed.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna go back a few years because I know there's a bunch. Let's do. I'm in any list right now, digging through.
Oh, we got to go through the list. Hold up.
Yeah, hell yeah. Through some of these that we couldn't recommend. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Love that show. Wouldn't recommend it to everybody. 66 on the annual list. That's about right. And to be honest, as crazy as this might sound, I would never I love this series. Love it to death. Y'all know that if y'all listen for a long time. Sword Art Online, even though it's very cliche and mainstream, I love Sword Art, but I cannot recommend it to everybody, and I wouldn't, because it's very much an acquired taste, I think, even though it's like the start of an era when it comes to isekai anime, for like a term.
I was gonna say, I remember Dark Gathering was one that I watched a few seasons ago. One of the horror mystery, or I guess more like what is it called? Spiritual anime. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be one that I would say I really enjoyed it, but not for everybody.
Let's go as far back as 2018. Everything else, I believe I can recommend. Unless it's like we always say, a Polo Until Last anime, right? Like those are the ones that we would always say we like, that we just can't recommend to people. And if you listen to us for a long time, you know what those are, right?
Dead Mount Death Play.
Yep. Yeah, that's another one. There's quite a few of those. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Each. I didn't realize how many anime I actually completed.
Yeah, damn near at 800 on my anime list so far. Listen to the this is Fear just telling us he like when we go over the news. Speaking of news, I meant to bring this up on Save the Article because I didn't read it. I just saw the article on Twitter, unfortunately. But it's about Tokyo Revengers. For Tokyo 10th anniversary, they're doing something for Tokyo Revengers. I'm not sure if it's a remake, so don't get your hopes up. But I'm praying to God they're remaking Tokyo Revengers. Now, I keep saying Tokyo Revengers. Why do I keep saying Tokyo Revengers? I apologize. Tokyo Ghoul 10th anniversary. Tokyo Ghoul 10th anniversary that they might be doing something for. I can't find the article though, which is unfortunate. But I'm praying that it's a remake to Tokyo Ghoul because Tokyo Ghoul needs it and deserves it more than anything.
Just done better.
Yeah, like the manga. All you gotta do is do it like the manga, and we're set. Compared to what we got, it's like, why? Yeah, I can't.
Could be loads better.
Right. Another article that I saw was that Demon Slayer. Shout out to actually, it's a Simi says. Simi sent us the link to the Infinity Castle arc. It's going to actually be broken up into 3 movies. Rob J wasn't happy about it. He said it's like 47 chapters or something like that being broken up into a movie is too much. He feels like being broken up into a movie from what it seems. But I messaged it and I said, this is a brilliant idea. This is absolutely brilliant. To end Demon Slayer, period, with 3 movies is genius. It's absolutely genius. Not only for the fact that it's going to do numbers, all 3 movies are going to fucking do billions of dollars. Okay. And I'm not just talking about yen. I'm talking all of it.
Crazy.
It's going to go crazy. Not only that, but it being wrapped up in a movie, meaning that we're skipping the fluff. We're skipping the nonsense that goes on within that's probably not necessary for watchers or anime watchers in general. And it's going to be extremely taken care of as far as visually, sound, everything. It's perfect. It's a perfect idea because it don't need to overstay its welcome, and this is the perfect way of ending it.
Right, and I think what you said that is the best thing is the fluff.
Yep.
This season, technically, trying to talking about how it could be something that's like pushing that boundary of fluff. It could be close to that, and they've done a good job of making sure this pacing has been as best as it could be for what they're giving us. 3 movies gets rid of that whole fluff, like you said, and that's what'll make it just kind of sweet. We just know that this point of the year we're getting a Demon Slayer movie, and this point of the year we know everybody's gonna be hyped. So yeah.
It's genius. If the movie was what the train was about 2 hours long, I think that's perfect, man. And it's a trilogy, so that's 8 hours of content, which is more than enough. That's a damn season of Demon Slayer right there. So it virtually isn't that different when you really think about it. Like 3 movies is if it's 2 hours long, like the train movie was, then it's like we good. That's a season right there. And but it's all wrapped up in nice little packages and we ain't got to worry about. I fucking think that's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
And it's
going to be amazing.
They're going to sell a ton of like steel boxes or whatever. People are going to go crazy to buy all 3 of those when they release.
Yep. And you remember when people were complaining about Demon Slayer and how it's 8 episodes this season? It's also a terrible take because listen, this episode was 40 minutes long, okay? Which technically means that's 2 more episodes. So that's 9 and 10 we got, right? And then the next episode is 60 minutes long. So technically that's what 2.5 episodes right there. So technically this is an 11, 12 episode season. When you put it in that perspective, it's perfect. It's been done. It's being done perfectly. Like
You're basically getting a movie.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints with how this Demon Slayer season is wrapping up or with the movie being in a trilogy form. Like 47 chapters doesn't even sound like that many to me.
Yeah. That's not even a whole arc for most comics or manga.
Right. So like, I think it's perfect. I think it's a genius move, not only from a business perspective, but to just wrap up this arc. It's amazing why can't all anime just be this logical when it comes to their content, right? If you just take your time, right? Have some, like the story is very simple, but the writing is decent enough. The characters are well done enough. I think about, and we're going to talk about, unfortunately, y'all, we're going to talk about Black Clover a little bit this episode. And I mean, very little bit. Like the disgrace that is Black Clover, it gives no excuse for being as bad as it is when you have stuff like Demon Slayer, when the stories are essentially the same, right? Like the stories, all of these are like the same story basically, but one is done, one is written well, one is not. One has good characters, one doesn't. Like it's a different beast.
It is. And I mean, we've been saying that for years now.
Forever, since this podcast inception. And just to clarify, for those of you who are newer, I've watched 130 episodes of Black Clover, so I have the right to talk about how terrible it is.
And I've read over 400 chapters of Black Clover. Yep. So
we are well versed in the world of
300, something like that. Yeah,
the word of Black Clover. And I'm telling you, fortunately enough, fucking banning that word on my Twitter has been the best thing ever. Oh, my life has just been so happy. Okay, this next one comes from Fear again, and this is an actual topic. So this one is a little bit different. Might be a little bit challenging to kind of do on a spot tell. So I apologize ahead of time because this one might require a little bit of thought, a lot more thought than the previous questions. But this one is, this may have happened in the earlier episodes, but you guys should create your own anime with aspects from some of your favorite shows. So like some of the best characters or character archetypes, art style, plot, animation, dub/sub staff. And there are some categories you can add. Also, a quick sentence or two on why. I think this could create a good Twitter discussion as well. And only 1 or 2 overlapping categories for our hosts. It's a fire idea. This is an absolute fire idea. Okay, create your own anime with the aspects from your favorite shows. So, what kind of character archetypes would you want in your own anime? This is such a tough question, but a great idea.
Character archetypes.
And again, we did do something similar, but it wasn't this in depth.
So you want to go first with character archetypes or me?
I have no idea. You got something?
Okay, I'm gonna base my character archetypes not like how, but this is how I want the character relationships and close knitness to be in defining of the characters. But I would go with like the characters of 86, the actual 86 themselves. I want that dynamic where the unit is close, and I don't want just like 4 or 5 like main characters. I do want a group of main characters who are like interesting, reliable, with a bunch of different dynamic personalities. So I would say probably about like 6 to 8 characters, but it's about the group and not the individual so much.
I want a main character like the one from Let me find the correct name. I want a main character like the one from Hoyoka. Okay. Where it's this super chill guy, but he's super fucking smart, right? Almost like Code Geass. What's his name from Code Geass? Kind of like him, but not necessarily. A more chill, like Hoyoka. Like he don't really want to be about this shit, but he has to be about this shit. And kind of a cool character like him, where he's chill, super melancholy. But I want his archetype to be that of. I always gotta find his name because I don't remember his name like ever. Makoto from Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, the main character. I want his type of archetype where he's, kind of overpowered, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, he's willing to kill, or he's willing to do whatever he got to do to protect whatever he needs to protect. So a chill attitude like the main character from Hoyoka, and a archetype like Makoto from Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. Now, the people around him, that I want it to be like and these just are the type of anime that I love. But I want the characters around him to be like either for something more recent, something like Windbreaker, or something a little bit more personal to me. And kind of makes sense for this anime that I'm cooking up is Overlord. I want like his lieutenants and shit like that. Like I want his people to be like that, or even the people from Moonlit Fantasy, like those type of beasts, monsters that are or from Reincarnated as a Slime, those type of people too. Like just people who are just, smart and also intelligent, but like with a main character as cool and mellow as from the one from Hoyoka, and then with the archetype as Makoto, I think that'll make for a more entertaining type of show, because then not only are these like those main characters like how Rimuru, he's super smart, right? Yeah, but it's also very bubbly and friendly, and it's kind of like he don't necessarily know what he's doing, but he kind of do. And same with I guess, and Makoto is a bit different. He knows what he's planning, but he's not as arrogant as he should be. I think if you can make it a little bit more arrogant, a little bit more chill and mellow, I think that'll make for a dope character. Now to continue that art style, this is I got two art styles in my head, obviously.
Oh man.
I want the art style of Jobless Reincarnation. I love how it's almost like a film grain over Jobless, or how it's very fantasy-esque, I like that look of Jobless a lot, the art style wise. And that's what I'm gonna go with. What about you?
I'm gonna go with like the art style of Link Click
art style. Interesting.
Yeah, because I love like the watercolor tones essentially, but like with that, there's sharper edges with curves. So I'm gonna go with Link Click for my art style.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like a stronger backgrounds too, with a lighter character color. That's an interesting one. I like that. Let's save plot for last. Let's go to animation.
Okay.
I'm Demon Slayer. I'm just gonna cheat. I don't give a fuck.
So you want the animation company?
Yeah, but imagine that with the Jobless art style. Whew.
I am going to go with, let me see exactly who this is real quick. I'm gonna go with Cloverworks.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the animation they did in Fate Grand Order Absolute Demonic Front Babylonia.
Or you could have picked Windbreaker, or you could have picked like anything from Cloverworks. You will not lose there. Great choice.
Damn, they're crazy. Absolute
great choice. Dub / sub staff. Now I don't know sub voice actors that well, so forgive me. I don't really look up the sub voice actors, but if I had to to be honest, my favorite sub voice acting right now. God, I hate the fact that I'm even going here again. But let me see. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Sub wise, that is for me. You know what? I do like because it's the first time I've heard it this week, but I do like Kafka's main voice actor. His name is Masaya. Kafka's voice actor for my main character that I've talked about, I think would be super dope.
For sub voice actors is gonna be hard for me. I guess I would go with a Madara Uchiha
for the sub.
For the sub, but that would be for my not for my main good guy. That would be like for his co-rival kind of dude. Like he's still a good guy, but it'd be that. I'm just trying to think about how I would make it work.
Right.
For my main character though, I'm thinking Shinra from Fire Force.
Ooh, wow, that's a great one. That's a great one. His sub is fantastic. As soon as you said it, I hear it. I could hear it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one. Dubbed is easy for me. I'm going to Adam Gibbs for my main character. The voice of my teen romantic comedy Snafu, or the voice from Eminence in Shadows, or Sid from Eminence in Shadow. Like he's one of the best dubbed male voice actors of all time. I don't really know the whole staff, but I like as much as I don't like the show Attack on Titan, that dub cast is brilliant. I think I would bring like the sub characters, Aaron himself as well. Those characters will be his like generals essentially. What I think will be dope.
My dub cast would be the cast from Astro Lost in Space.
Wow, great one.
I don't know any of their actual voice actors, but I do remember
their voices.
They were right.
Very memorable. Yeah. Work shit. I mean, you can take I could take a spin from your book too, and for my sub, I'm gonna go 86 for the rest of the cast too. Because that cast is also brilliant. And then last but not least, the plot.
So here we got to pick genre to kind of fill out the plot.
Yeah. So Mars is a fantasy, right? Okay. And I'm talking a fantasy along the lines of like a world close to Freerin kind of world, right? Mm-hmm. But I want it to be where our guy, my main character, is a super chill, super smart guy that don't really want to do much of anything, but can literally do everything, like Makoto. I want it to be like something like what Itachi did to the Leaf Village, but to his homeland, right? Slaughter his entire village or his entire land. He survives because his parents is like, yo, listen, you have to survive because we know what you are capable of. You got to get out of here. I'm talking, he's like a 4-year-old kid, right? And his people just get slaughtered. And I'm talking to the person that's slaughtering him is a Muzan kind of guy, like a fucking actual demon that's like unstoppable. It feels like you have no idea how he would ever be stopped. But you have him, and you have let's call it enemies like fucking let's go with something recent. Let's go with like My Hero type heads, like All For One type, Shigaraki's type people that are just those are his captain, the Muzan type of main bad guy, and his captains are fucking like the deadliest of deadly people, and they destroyed this village. Not only that, his village isn't the only one that got destroyed, but his entire country but he has to like then be on his my appraisal shit, reincarnated as the prince, and he has to pray and he has to find his captains like he did in that one, and come up with a plan to overthrow these villains or something in the best way possible, in the most I'm talking like revenge type tale of just pure flashback, like in the middle of him finding somebody that he know killed like his cousin or something, his second cousin or something, is one of the generals, like his first villain or something. He got to go kill him, but it's like it flashes back to when he slaughtered him, and he gets the memory of it, and he just go all out, and it's like Eminence and Shadow type of deadly embarrassing of whooping these villains' ass, and it's just a bunch of him whooping these people ass in the most satisfying way for 12 episodes. But it's like how does he maneuver it? How does he find him? How does he outclass him? How does he, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the plot is of my show. And it's gonna be called the seventh blood moon.
All right.
The seventh blood moon. Yep.
Okay.
Because it was a red moon when it all happened. It was 7 generals that fucking destroyed his whole village and shit. And it's 7 he got to kill.
I need an outline for that.
This is all just off the top of my head, literally right now, as we were talking about. It's crazy. What you got?
All right. So mine is going to be a supernatural isekai.
Okay.
We starting off with Truck Kun.
I love Truck Kun.
He rolling down the street, and then boom, our main character gets hit. Now, how it works though is it's very similar to like Seventh Time Loop, where basically the MC is a person who they keep dying over and over and over. And they've lived these different lives where basically instead of being like they were living these lives as all these different pharmaceutical like types, this person trained for 30 years of their life as a fencer, and then they died from a random accident.
A random truck. It has to be a truck. Always has to be a truck.
Yeah, that'd be great. But then this next life they trained 30 years as a professional boxer. So they keep training all these different years in different like fighting styles and different techniques to like survive in a fight, obviously, right?
Right.
And then the last time they get hit, which is the final like loop, and I'm gonna say, let's say it's like the 9th loop, and basically what happens is he gets transmitted to another world where he's now no longer on Earth, but now it's like Noragami, where essentially he becomes a god, and he doesn't know what he's the god of. But he is basically summoned by the prayers of people who've been trying to find a god but could not find one, and he becomes that void to fill that space. And he has to combat against other gods who are newly formed gods as well. So basically, he is within a generation of newly formed gods who are supposed to replace the gods that already exist. And basically his main rival would be a similar god to him, where they're both technically trying to figure out just like I said, like Noragami, like Yato is a war god. Yeah. They're trying to figure out which one is going to actually take the throne as the next war god. So that's my story here.
Damn, it's almost like we did this on purpose, like we planned this out.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Love this, man. Love that idea, Fear. That was great. That was a lot of fun. Tell us what you think of those, and if y'all would want to see them.
My name of it would be what would it be? So I said 9.
Gods Among Us.
No, it'd be the crazy. Yeah, it'd be the 9th shrine summoning or something like that.
9th shrine. Oh, that's fire too. That's even more fire. All right, All for One Matt got another one that actually is a perfect one for next week for the live episode. So we're gonna save that one for the live episode. All right. So Mazer does anime content as well. So make sure you check out his Twitch, MAZER_. ULTOR that's at twitch.tv. He does a show every Wednesday at 7. I believe it's 7 Central. I believe it's 7 Central. It's either 7 Central or 7 Eastern. If I get that wrong, my fault, Major. But make sure you follow his Twitch and you would know. But yeah, it's one that we're going to do. It should be nice and quick. But he says, I have a few brackets, so I would love to hear some of your thoughts on the best fire user, best waifu, best husbando, best romance in anime, and best fight in anime. Best fire. Right. Let's start with best fire user.
I'm gonna stick to what I said kind of earlier. Shinra.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna say Shinra as well. He's my favorite fire user, probably.
Yeah, he's crazy right now.
So yeah, that one's easy. Fire Force is a great show. Bring back Fire Force ASAP. Best waifu. Oof. I dance around this one so much. Funny enough, as we're called Mic Check Waifu, we never talk about waifus, which is hilarious. I stand. Dude, it's so tough.
I can say Kirisu.
Yeah.
That's who I always say.
Yeah. And I'm going to say Rem. I'm always going to say Rem, probably.
That's always number 2.
Yeah, it's always Rem and Makase for us. Makase from Steins Gate, if you're not familiar. And Rem from ReZero. She was just amazing. And she can handle her own too, which I appreciate.
Right.
Best husbando. That one I haven't really thought about, but if I had to pick, the Reaper from 86.
Ishkander from Fate.
Go on. Let's do,
I guess,
best romance in anime. This is my favorite one. Best romance.
Hold up. Let's see. All right, I think I got mine. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Aki Adagake and Masamune Kun Makabe.
Oh, what a great one. From
because hear me out.
Revenge.
Yeah, that shit it got me. I'm gonna go there. If it wasn't that, it was gonna be quintessential quintuplets, but
yeah,
I'm gonna go Makase.
Kyoka Kaiga and Bonnery from Golden Time.
Okay.
Best romance, hands down. If y'all haven't seen it, watch it. Very emotional show. I love this show to death. It's a very, 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 shit, so many thug tears in that show. Mm-hmm. So many thug tears. And then best fighting anime.
So
he got more actually. So that ain't the last one, but best fighting anime.
Everything Fate. I think is a pretty easy and fair choice. I was trying to. I feel like there's one that I was used to watch, Shiro no Hito or something like that. That I think has the best fight choreography, but I can't find it.
For me, it's tough because I can give a fuck less about hands.
That's what it is. If I'm talking about choreography, though, it's not about just the hands. I'm talking about like the actual choreography of the fighting. Hitari no Shida, that's what it is. Hitari no Shida. It's the best fight choreography.
My favorite fight probably of any anime is, and it's short and it's sweet, but it's impactful. It's important because it's all based around a plot and everything that happened within it. And this is what I consider as best fight. So when y'all had that best fight conversation on Mazer's stream, I'm like, I'm not a part of this because my type of shit is like story of the fight, the importance of it, what happens in it, how it looks. That's all my kind of thought process when it comes to the best fight. So my favorite fight of all time is Turning Point 2, Jobless Reincarnation, when Rudy meets the Dragon God. And that's all I'm gonna say there. But that is my favorite because it was when fucking Ruger went up there and got beat the fuck down, and Ares, and then Rudy, and everything that happened in that is my absolute favorite fight of all time. Mm-hmm. So that is there. So, but he also had more. He said, I want to do, these are the ones that he's going to do in the future, but we're going to get a head start for him. He said, I want to do best isekai. So let's start there. Best isekai.
Best isekai ReZero.
ReZero is the only answer for us because it's our number one favorite anime. Best sleeper show. A show we didn't know nothing about that ended up being super good. Summertime Rendering for me.
Yeah. I mean, technically for me, I would have to say something like Ash Lost in Space because I wasn't watching that one at first until because it went under the radar for me. So yeah,
that's a great one. Best antagonist, me, Polo. I'm just kidding. Best antagonist still to this day for me is Madara Uchiha.
I'm gonna go with Betelgeuse.
Ooh, Betelgeuse from ReZero. Wow, good one. Wow, great one.
Just because they kind of didn't make me completely hate him.
Yeah. I mean, they did at first. Until later seasons. He says, and I want to hear y'all's take on the on this 4-way battle. The main squad from the Jorah Tempest Federation, which is from Reincarnated as a Slime, versus Shadow Garden, which is from Eminence and Shadow, versus the Great Tomb of Nazarick, which is from Overlord, versus the elite of the elites from Black Clover, which who gives a flying fuck about Black Clover. And he said, who's coming out on top? Okay, Black Clover, we're going to just get this out the way. Tell said this earlier in the pre-show when we was looking at these questions, but they don't belong in this conversation. Nobody from Black Clover belongs in any conversation with the Great Tomb of Nazarick, for one, let alone the Tempest Federation or Shadow Garden. So, Black Clover don't belong here. They're gone. They're eliminated immediately. Black Clover sucks.
Here's the issue with this conversation. The Temple of Nazarick is existing.
Great Tomb of Nazarick, yeah.
They exist.
Yeah.
Why do they exist in any world where you have to fight them? But then you have the Jorah Tempest Federation. I'm
going to say that the Tempest Federation is going to, out of these three, is going to be the next one to go eliminated. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is because there are ways to kill each and every last one of them. While it will be tough, very, very fucking tough. But somebody like Sid can pretty much get anybody from there out of there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I Am Atomic is enough to who you know. Unless I
don't think Atomic works on Rimuru.
I do think it does.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I say that because the obliteration doesn't work on Rimuru.
Well, it would have. The thing is, it's not it's a spell in a sense, right? But it's kind of based off of reality in a sense. Does that make sense?
I don't think that hurts Rimuru. That's what I'm saying.
You might be right.
And that's what makes it hard, because I think that it can take out basically everybody but Rimuru. Now, the issue is though, I don't think anybody's touching Shadow.
Yeah.
So I think Shadow wins on an attrition because I don't think anyone is actually going to hurt him. But I think with the Great Tomb of Nazarick being there, that it's hard to think that he's not going to instant kill anything.
Yeah, because I mean, like, while Rimuru can get rid of 10,000 soldiers in a snap of a finger, basically, still the Great Tomb of Nazarick is unlimited forces essentially because of one person. Mm-hmm. Aizu Gon. So it's like with that one person, and you got Shouts here, and
yeah. He's got perfect attack, perfect. He's got the spear, he's got the shield, he's got everything at his beck and call. I think that Great Tomb of Nazarick is a hard one to touch.
Yeah. So I'm going to. It's hard to. It's neither one of the, like, all of this is going to end in fucking carnage. It's hard to say that Temple of Tempest would lose.
It is hard to say that.
It is very hard to say that, but I do think, because I think Shadow Garden would lose to the Tomb of Nazarick. I do.
Yeah, that's because it's not fair.
They don't have enough.
I think that the only people who can touch the Tomb of Nazarick happens to be the Jura Tempest, but I think that the Jura Tempest loses to Shadow Garden. But I think that that's the only ones who can beat the Tomb of Nazarick. So it's like that rock, paper, scissors, but I think Tomb of Nazarick beats. They have more chances to win or more odds on winning. Because I think Shadow Garden, they have, if you take Sid out of it, you put Sid against Rimuru, I think everybody in Shadow Garden stands a chance. Yeah,
that's the point that I was trying to make. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Because when you mentioned Sid not really beating Rimuru, that's probably the only exception, I think. But can Diablo
but then
beat?
If Rimuru gets jumped. But Diablo is scary too, because
Xion is a fucking, she's
reality breaker.
Yeah, Xion literally is a reality breaker. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm going to go, and this is a personal preference out of all of these. I'm going to go with the Tomb of Nazarick because it's just my favorite. That's where I'm at there. So. Yeah,
I think Tomb of Nazarick wins because of Ein Zalgun, but I think that it could easily, if this was like a three-way battle, who knows?
And to clarify again, Black Clover stinks, and the reason why Black Clover stinks is because
I forgot about them.
They're so surface level. It's such a basic ass anime where it's literally the most simple of you fighting in the battle, you getting your ass beat in the battle, you get a magic spell in the book. Just absolutely perfect, too tailored for the situation that's going on, for you to be able to use it at the ability at perfect timing and win. And it's rinse and repeat over and over and over and over and over and over. And not only that, all of the characters suck except for maybe Asta. Like everybody just sucks. Like as far as character wise and writing, it's all terrible.
Zatch Bell.
It's just Zatch Bell. It's just a more adult version of Zatch Bell, I guess. And maybe that's even pushing it.
That's subjective even.
Very much so. All right. And I replied, so I'm going to warn you, do not want us talking about Black Clover. Bad idea. It's a fact. Fear hasn't seen Overlord, which kills me. Mazer said he's going for Jor for the win. As far
which,
as,
like I said, I can see it for any of them for the most part.
100%. And then Shadow Garden, then Black Clover. No, they're not. With Overlord at the tail. That's actually crazy. That's insane.
Who?
And I guess it's because he's counting Asta's I just can't even. Like if you think that anti-sword bullshit, anti-magic sword is going to do anything with anybody else, you're crazy. Because Sid is getting him the fuck out of here with a snap of a finger. So, whatever.
But Asta can cut through time. He can't cut through death.
He can't cut through dying instantly.
You can't cut through something that already stopped you.
And I think that's it for the rapid fire questions. And a big shout out, to go back to some news real quick. A big shout out goes to Crystal for letting us know, as soon as I can find it, reincarnated as an aristocrat. Got a season 2 announced already. It returns this fall.
Let's go.
So after summer, it comes back. Yes.
That's excitement.
That's excitement. So shout out to Crystal for dropping that. It's from Crunchyroll News. Following the broadcast of the final episode in Japan, the official website, the accounts of As Reincarnated as an Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world anime series, announced the second season in production and will release in fall 2024.
Great finale too.
They dropped a beautiful finale. We're going to talk about all of that next week though. So be prepared to come in for full spoilers for the summer season ending shows. Everything should be wrapped up next week. I'm looking forward to that. Now, Tell, let's get to know Mic Check Waifu Waifu. This is the part of the podcast where we get to know us as hosts. I know we did that pretty much this entire episode. Now, it's in the Google Docs, right? Our Google Docs. I did not have it for them. It's my turn to read the question and Tell it's turn to roll the random number generator. But I wasn't prepared. Hey. Hold on, Tell. Google Docs. So if y'all hear that beeping, that's me. That's my computer. It's my browser. It has the Persona theme, so it makes Persona sound effects. So sorry about that.
Dope. Speaking of Persona, I'm about to get that Shin Megami Tensei.
Dude, I want to get it so bad. I want to get it so bad. Anyway.
I haven't played it in forever, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm getting the Kingdom Hearts.
Anyway, get to know Mic Check Waifu Waifu season 2. Let's get it, Tell. Roll the random number generator. This is part where Tell rolls the random number generator and I'll read the question associated with that number and you get to know us a little bit better. Let's get it.
The number is 66.
What is your favorite shoujo anime?
Oh, that's crazy.
That's so good. That's a good question. It doesn't change the numbers automatically to match the order. Anyway, 66 is gone. I guess we'll just keep that in mind. My favorite shoujo anime is Seventh Time Loop. And I'm new to the shoujo, so mine is a little bit more recent. But Seventh Time Loop is one of the best shoujo animes I've ever seen.
Does Angel Next Door count?
No.
A Galaxy Next Door?
No.
A Galaxy Next Door definitely counts.
It's sure you could, but
Sugar Apple Fairy Tale.
There you go. That's a good one.
I'm gonna go with Sugar Apple Fairy Tale since you a hater.
No, only because I feel like it has to be like a female lead, not a
shared lead.
Yeah, not a shared co-lead romance type deal.
Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I enjoyed that. That's one. A really good one. I love the art style too.
Yeah. I watched that one in like a day. It was fantastic. All right, we're gonna take this quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna spoil everything that we talked about in the first half of the show. We'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 259 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. let's get to it. The spoiler half of the show is where we spoil the current season shows that we discussed at the beginning. We are going to start with Kaiju number 8, episode 11. So the dub got delayed. I was pretty sad about that because I love the dub of that show. It's my first time listening to the sub of Kaiju, and I must say the sub is fucking fantastic. It's actually really, 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 really good. Like unbelievably good. Just as good as the dub. So great job for getting both a great sub and a great dub for that show. Well deserved. Now, let's talk about what happened. Kafka is captured. We know that the third division is like, yo, we gonna do whatever we fucking can to get you. Now, I absolutely love that part of it. I love the fact that everybody's trying to do whatever they possibly can to get him free because they understand that he's a real one. And that piece of the story I enjoy probably the most throughout the entire episode. Like seeing everybody try, seeing everybody like, yo, he's with us. Like, this is our guy. Let's do whatever we can to possibly get him back. Even before they knew he was a kaiju, I think the fact that they appreciated him as much as they did means a lot to not just him, but like me as a show that enjoyed great storytelling and great character development. I appreciate that part of Kaiju number 8 probably more so than everything else because, like I said, it took 11 episodes for the shit to get started. And now that it started, I'm happy that I'm here because it's like it's about to pop off finally. Like it's about to be a good show now, you know? How you feeling about it?
I feel like I hate that this happened because I feel like now this part that we just faced, I feel like everything we saw was extremely predictable. The show started. Well, why did it take so long to start and then we get all of this predictability? Yeah. Or I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm gonna put it together like that.
It works.
It's so easy to predict that it just
But if you
I'm not saying I disliked it. I enjoyed what I saw though. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it just felt like so cookie cutter.
There's a certain realm of suspension you have to have, Till, and I know you know this, but I'm just saying this for the general everybody else that's listening. There's a certain suspension that you have to have with shows like this, right? Like even when you're talking about shows, funny enough, Black Clover, you have to still be able to suspend the fact that it's very cliche. It's a shonen. It's going to do whatever the most popular shonen does. It's going to be cookie cutter. It's going to be predictable. It's the way that it's being executed that's the very important part. And that's why I discussed the fact that, you know, them bringing up, you know, third division being so adamant about saving them and et cetera.
And that's why I also wanted to make sure I said that I did enjoy it. I just hated how cookie cutter it felt because it was like, man, it took us so long to get here. We just got here. It's like you just pulled up to the party and then the party kind of gets this like dull moment as soon as you walk in, just for us to know the next season the party's gonna be here.
Yeah, it's like Demon Slayer. It's all the same shit. But how is it written? How is it being told? Of course, we knew that he was going to get exposed and people were going to be so against that. Him being a monster. Now, what I will say as the predictable part, right? There's no way he was fucking expecting the general to come down or the entire leader of to do it. I thought it was gonna be somebody else. I didn't expect him to be the one to do that.
As soon as she talked to him, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna go beat on bro.
Yeah, nah, that I can't say I saw coming.
Okay. Because
it wasn't foretold whatsoever. Because I didn't like I thought he was just a guy. He was a politic, you know, like that's all I thought of him. I thought he was going to grill him, interrogate him, talk to him about how you're a fucking monster and you're nothing else, which technically it was, but it did it in the cooler way, right? Like it did it in the way that I didn't expect, right? Because I didn't expect him to fight him. I didn't expect him to interrogate him, but like the cooler way is him beating his ass. Like, no, you're a monster. I'm gonna show you why, and then fucking beating that shit out of him, which I do find to be extremely unfair, but I agree
with that too.
I do get it though, because his wife is dead because of this motherfucker, these type of motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain, again, as cookie cutter as you think it is, there's the writing that comes with that makes it good.
And that's the part that actually I found the most interesting was the suspense of, is there a point in Kafka's battle that he's gonna feel like instinct is taking over? Yeah. And we kind of get pushed to that limit in this episode, and that's where I was like drawn in, was that like, okay, where's the actual like obvious limit break? Because I feel like I know obviously there's gonna be a point where the character is pushing him to a limit to see what's gonna happen, to see if he shows that he's actually on the opposite side. Control. Yeah. Right? We know he's getting pushed for a reason, right? Because he wants to see what his daughter is seeing. And when I'm watching this fight, I'm like, I do see it. Now, they did a great job of building up that anticipation to see, is Kafka going to break? Is Kafka going to break? And they actually kind of gave me a good point of like, I was surprised. I'm like, they really got him pushing to like all the way to the limit. And even now, I feel like that was represented well. And that's where I agree with you on the way it's written in terms of storytelling is superb. The story that's supporting this, like I said, this cookie cutter thing that I'm seeing, I think is very well written. So I'm not taking away from the story here. I'm saying that I'm seeing it and it's playing out almost exactly like how you would expect.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a bunch of bureaucratic nonsense conversation, right? Like, yeah. And the break was going to be of him kind of like, I give up type shit. That would have been more cookie cutter than the way it turned out. I think if it would have, this is how I expected. Like, I thought it was going to go in this way, but in a different way. And hear me out. I thought it was going to be him being interrogated by all these people and them beating him down mentally, like saying, listen, you're a monster. You're this, you're this, you're this. And it's like, and I was thinking he's going to be like, you're right. I'm nothing but a monster because of this. And then I thought it was going to show him the x-ray. Like, look, this is your heart now. This is blah, blah. And I thought they was going to beat it inside of him mentally, like, and just break him mentally down over time to the point where it does become where he wants to give up. And then that's when he's having a conversation with the kaiju that's inside of him, and the kaiju telling him to kill. I think him going about it in the way of fighting and then fighting a Shinomiya like he was, and that fight being so fucking insanely dope.
Insane.
Like ripping off his limbs, breaking his fucking legs over and over and over and over and over again. I think that was the cool part about that made it extremely fun to watch, to be honest. As predictable as it is, like, he's going to obviously break and he's going to stop at the last minute in the next episode and prove that he has control. And like, we know what's going to happen per se, right? Like, it's not that it's not predictable. Like, I'm there with you. I believe it is very simple. It's the way you get there. It's the way you take me there that makes it different because, okay, there is.
Yeah, I think Windbreaker isn't very predictable in my opinion, but my bad. It's not a comparison thing.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Windbreaker is very predictable. Like,
I guess I didn't predict it.
Well, in a sense, right? It's, you know where it's gonna go as far as like, story beats, I guess.
Right.
So saying it's predictable is kind of unfair, but the story beats, you know where it's gonna go, and the character development is how it gets there. That's interesting. And bro, I still think the fact that it took 11 episodes to get to this point is savage. It's savage and sad because we know, like, go ahead.
No, yeah, we know, but it is a beautiful point in the story though, because and that's what's crazy about it, is that while I am sorry that it took this long, the payoff for it is technically there. They had to build up this whole like relationship to get to this point to make it so impactful. To get, like, this episode is impactful because of how long we had to wait for it to get here. But it's like, man, why did it have to take so long? Now I'm so hyped to see what's coming next.
I think it's because we have the perspective of knowing how many episodes we get. We get 12,
right?
Like, and this is 11 when it starts. Like, come on. So it's like, this is great for people who has a season 2 already done. Like, this is a perfect type of story then in that case.
Yeah, and I don't say this to say like, it's not the same like how Gleipnir messed up their storyline. Right. It's not like that. Because Gleipnir just literally put the 7th or 8th episode in the wrong spot.
Straight up.
He literally just like, hey, that's the first episode. Why did you put it 8 episodes in?
Yeah.
This show is just the way, and it's not to say that the storytelling is bad. You know what I mean? This is still, it's still really good storytelling. It's just, man.
It was frustrating.
That's where it is. It's where the hype started. It's where they feel like it feels like they set the precedent for the show to start here. Mm-hmm. So that's all it is, bro. It's like, still great.
It feels like it should have been like a Studio Period production or Studio Bones or something where it's like 100 episodes consistent type shit.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have gotten this animation.
Nah, hell no, not even close. Or probably even as good of a pacing. It probably would have not good pacing because it's not good pacing. I would say it probably would have been longer.
Yeah,
right? Like drug out even more if that was the case. Yeah. So man, all in all, to say this is a good episode. Good episode. I'm looking forward to next week when it's all wrapped up. Now, moving on. That would be
Jobless Reincarnation.
No, it was My Hero first, and then Jobless.
Oh, okay.
Let me, because this is the Todorokis, right? Dabi and oh boy, I forget his name, but the Todorokis fight. Shoujo, yeah, it's their fight. This is what I got to say about it.
You don't care.
No, I don't, but I really, really didn't. Funny enough, I will say that the worst part about it is the way they weaved in Dabi's backstory, like they did in season 4, I think it was, when they kept weaving it in at these unopportune times that just didn't feel good to watch. I thought that sucked. I thought if you just gave me that story straight without weaving it in between these fights, I would have been better. I would have just rather had the Dabi story as a whole separate episode and then go into the fight and then let the fight be the fight. Because the fight was like literally a minute and a half long, but the rest was them weaving in between his little story beats and shit, which was annoying. But I will say that it looked cool. And if Dabi's dead, this was a great way of doing it. Like of having Shoujo beat him like this. I thought that was a cool way of doing it. And I like his little move, his cold flame move. That shit was it's genius. It's genius. Other than that, outside of the minute and 50 seconds we got for the fight, this show's My Hero stinks. I'm coming to the conclusion that I just don't like it anymore. Because you want to talk about cookie cutter, this is everything that you think it is as in a shonen. It just feels so boring, man. It's so atypical, be usual that I'm tired of it. I'm enough. I just want it to be done now. Like maybe it's my taste because my taste changed over the years and I've watched so much shit. So this is coming from a space where I'm gonna look at, this is my profile on AniList. Now, this isn't even everything that I've watched. This is just over the time of this podcast, but 746 anime. 746 anime? That's 189 days of anime. I've seen so much that when you get these baby boof ass stories that's just so like, I hate my father because he did this, and you got but my family, but I love my family, and I'm gonna be the one to stop you. I'm over it, bro. I'm so over it. I just want it to be over, and I think I'm over it. And you know what? I think it started. I think it started when All Might ended.
Yeah,
when All Might became this frail bitch, and this frail guy, and everybody else had to take over. I think that's when I lost all interest because it's not that cool anymore. Even though it's not like the fights have been bad or the Todoroki family music was some of the best music I think I've heard. Dude, if you can, okay, go to YouTube and just listen to the music of that fight. I'm telling you, it was fucking. Who was in the studio? It was just beautiful. It was the most beautiful fight music I've ever heard. And it was so serene and chill. It was so cool. It was so cool. But it's just something about the show and the characters I just don't give a fuck about anymore. And it's, again, they're not doing anything wrong as far as writing goes. They're not doing anything wrong as far as maybe slightly wrong with pacing, but it's just nothing they're doing wrong. It's just everything to do with me personally not liking the show anymore. I think I'm over it. I think it overstayed its welcome for me personally. And that's, I guess I'm not wrong there. Can't be mad at me for that. Taylor's listening to the soundtrack of that fight right now. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I wish I could play it without getting blown back by YouTube.
They always have good like I'm not gonna say always, but their intro, like you say run and all that stuff.
Yeah, the ambience music.
Been great.
Yeah, it's a great ambiance music.
Their instrument selection or choice is good when they put these compositions together.
100%. It was cool, man. It was cool. It was cool to see. But I sat there like, actually I was on a treadmill, so I was walking and just didn't care. I'm like, huh, that's neat. There was a time where My Hero put a tear in my eye, like a thug tear. Like that's how invested I was in certain shit.
Yeah,
I'm just not there no more. What would you say you feel about My Hero before you got to where you are now? At this point, and when you were reading the manga, how did you feel?
At this point, I was like, I think I still had some hype. And I'll say this, what I'm thinking about when you talk about the backstory is that what makes the manga so nice is that it feels like I'm getting just that manga, that backstory in a shot, like you said.
Yep.
You'd rather just get that and then move on.
Yep.
And I feel like that's what the manga gives me. Whereas the anime, watching it and then the backstory gets weaved in, like you said, it does feel it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So I can understand that. But I do think that at this point, a lot of my hype was dying off because I'm like, dang, this battle ain't came to an end yet. This is like the 4th time we didn't engage this man.
Yeah.
And then I see there's 100 more chapters.
Oh no.
and you know, it's like this is the 6th time we've engaged this man. When is this gonna be over? Which now it looks like it's actually about to be over, but it's still like, how many times I gotta fight, bro?
Overstand its welcome, man. Yeah. That's why Demon Slayer is doing it so well.
I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like it's overstaying its welcome. And as someone who's read it, it's like, ugh, I'm ready for this to be over. Even reading it right now, I'm ready for this to be over.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Jobless Reincarnation. One of the best episodes this week. Like a perfect episode this week, in a perfect way of kind of like wrapping up the situation. What I did love is I love the way Roxy came in, right? She came in like, I'm going to do whatever I can to make you feel better. And I love the emotional response from Rudius. Like his response was very warranted and like I deserved is the term I'm going to use for lack of a better term. But he had the right to spill out like and be upset, right? Like, what did you do this for when you think about it, right? His situation. What did you go to the labyrinth for? What did you lose your dad for? What did you lose? Like, you don't have your mom back. Your mom is virtually gone, essentially. So what was all this for? And that hurts. And you lost your hand. You lost your left hand. So it's like, that all hurts a lot. So for you to be in this depressive state and this mental state, it's understandable. It's reasonable. And again, I love that about this show because it's fucking, you can feel the emotion as to why it's written so well. It's borderline, hear me out when I say that, borderline Freewind-esque. While it's not as written well as Freewind, but shit, it might be just as good, to be honest. I'm gonna just say it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was a little confused.
It might be just as good as far as like writing goes. It's brilliant. Like as far as character, emotion, like all this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real.
This anime sucks.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean in an emotional way. Because while yes, they gave us some time to grieve in the previous episode, I feel like we should still be grieving.
Yeah. And I think you will be for a very long time.
Yeah.
What's great is the way they even not necessarily foreshadow, but showed him doing his magic when they was going back, and he was just missing. It was just like failing miserably because if you're not in the right mind state, like how could you, right?
He's emotionally vulnerable right now. He literally just lost his dad. And like you said, he's trying to figure out what did he even do all of this for? His mom isn't technically his mom right now in her head. There's a lot going on that is this all feels kind of like a backfire. But I'm watching it and I'm just like, yo, at least you got Roxy.
Yes.
And you got a profession of love from Roxy, and you were able to profess your own love to Roxy, and you even in a sense got a go ahead on you need to talk to your wife with Roxy kind of situation.
Yes,
so I feel like this is one of those things that man, this show emotionally sucks, but it's also a really kind of like warming show still, and I'm ready to see Rudius be comforted.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no matter what happens, I do feel like obviously his sisters are going to have a little bit of a feeling. But also now they have Rudius, and I feel like they are emotionally intelligent enough, at least one of them. At least one of them is emotionally intelligent enough to be like, well, I have to focus on what's here now. Like they told Rudy, you have to focus on the family in front of you. That's all he can do.
And all those messages that was coming in like that was brilliant. Alanise she was literally the player of the game this entire episode. She was fucking phenomenal. Like, listen, I know this is rough, but I want to see Roxy happy. I want to see you happy, and I think that y'all will both be happy. And the way she brought up Milicis, the guy, Melisse, yeah. When she brought up Melisse, I was like, oh shit, that's the guy that what's his name worship. And she's like, well, now that I'm on the end of that, I kind of like it. the solo love, your partner type of love. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, we both don't. And it's so beautiful, man. It will be so beautiful if Sylvie approves, which I don't see her not approving, because she even mentioned in previous episodes, like she said, I don't care if I have to be Rudi's third wife. Like I will be that. Like, and she literally said that herself. Yeah. So who knows? Like, she's more than likely than not going to approve of it. But then it would be so much love in that house. Like, as fucked up as it is, you got the sisters that's going to be there. They're going to have their mom, but losing their dad is going to be rough. And
that's why I think that it could be more beneficial in this, is that obviously he needs to keep all the people he have left, so to speak, as close as possible.
Smart, yeah. I think that's the best move too.
Not to mention they're gonna be the strongest house in the nation.
Straight up, when you think about it. Damn.
So you got Elena Lise, you got Roxy, Sophie, Rudius, his siblings.
Yep. It's gonna be great.
And then eventually his kids.
Yep. It's gonna be insane. It'll be insane. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't stress enough how good this show is.
Do you think he's going to talk to the God again? Man God again?
I was about to say that. How do you think it's going to go with the man God? Like, what's going to be that conversation? And as far as gut check, you can't predict Jobless because it's just like ReZero. You can't predict shit that's going to happen in it unless you read it, right? Like,
right.
Like,
speaking of, I just got an advertisement for like 70% off of all the light novels on Jobless Reincarnation right now.
Oof. Tempting as hell.
I know, right?
Yeah, the conversation, man, I think it's going to be the man guy's going to be like, I told you so kind of deal. But the man guy is also probably going to mention, hey, you got Roxy though.
Right.
So that might be his angle.
I'm thinking this might be the longest conversation we have with the man guy.
Interesting.
I'm thinking this is going to be like 12 minutes, like halfway through the episode. He's going to be talking to the man guy. And I think that, I don't think the ending of the episode is going to be that. I think it's going to be something like, and I don't think I'm going to predict this right, but this is what kind of something I would love to see. I think that it's going to be like halfway through the episode, we'll switch to the man guy, him talking to the man guy, and basically talking about everything that happened. And then more about like what the next steps are, so to speak, telling him something crazy, like maybe, well, you'll be expecting another child with Roxy, et cetera, because, you know, they already did the thing.
Yeah, they did it. That's all unavoidable.
So I'm thinking maybe something like that. And then he's going to tell him, kind of like reiterate some of the things. So, well, I told you were going to regret this, but look at what you have. And then it'll go back and he's going to appreciate the family he has in front of him that's kind of trying to help him get over himself. So I think he's going to still be moping, especially once he gets home, because he's going to feel like he failed his sisters. It's like, I failed y'all.
He's going to feel like he failed Sophie too, probably.
Right?
For being unfaithful.
So he's going to get there, and I feel like Sophie's going to bring him back, and she's going to be like, look, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. He's going to still be down. He'll go to sleep, wake up in the dream, man guy going to be like, yeah, you did screw up. You did not listen to what I told you to do, and now look at you. But look at what you have now. And then he's going to wake up, and that's going to be like, we'll find out what the next part is. I don't know. That's I have no idea, but that's where I'm sticking.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be more so of a conversation like, you fucked up, and then he's going to probably ask him of a way to help his mom to cure that mana impairment thing that they talked about during this episode, because I think that's a very important piece of what this is about. So I think that conversation is going to be mostly about that, and then him telling him like, listen, you don't listen, there are repercussions to that. So this is the next move, and then he tells him the next move, but I can't even pretend to guess on what that is or what that even could be. Because right now, what do we do now? Go back to the slice of life now? Like what reason does he have to do anything else? You got your mom.
Chaos has to ensue.
Yep. So
bodyguard, you gotta pull up.
Or maybe something with Eris. You gotta find Eris or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing left. But I don't think he wants to right now, emotionally. You have to assume that, because we still got the misunderstanding. So all in all, man, it's tough. But I know that you can follow me on Twitter at Polo Bornfly.
You can follow me at King Taliano.
You can also follow our Twitter at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter, and Mike Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I fucked that all up. And as always, Mike check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?